Welcome back to Definitely Not Definitive. I'm Ken.
And I'm Bethany.
And we're just a smitten couple in love that loves reacting to some Smite.
Aw, smitten for Smite.
Yeah.
So cute.
And so this is another character draft. So we've been reacting to the different pantheons for the gods in Smite. And these are the Hindu gods that we're going to check out. And we're going to do a draft style. If you want to see all of our reactions to Smite and our full draft, go ahead and check out the description of this video. We got a playlist there for you. And we have like our full teams that we've drafted, all right? So the way this draft works is we're gonna, watch the video, and if we want a character, we're gonna use one of our claim tickets that we got here, all right? But there's a steal one that can happen, all right? So if Bethany takes a character that I want, I can go ahead and steal it.
But then I can steal it back.
Yep, exactly.
Like that.
Just like that.
Just like that.
You didn't have to actually take my ticket.
I know, but it just felt fitting.
All right then, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. You ready?
Let's do it.
Welcome to the Smite God reveal for Ganesh, God of Success.
All right then.
After much celebration, Parvati, goddess of fertility and love, washed the dirt and sweat from her body. With a wave of her hand, she transformed it into her son and set him to guard the door as she finished washing. Startled by the boy and fearing for the safety of his wife, Shiva drew his sword and cut the boy down.
Ooh.
"This is your son," Parvati cried. "You must save him." Shiva quickly replaced the head of the child with the wisest creature in the world, that of an elephant. Thus was Ganesh truly born. Generous, warm-hearted, and optimistic, Ganesh has assumed authority over obstacles. For those who are filled with arrogance, Ganesh challenges their progress. For the honest and hardworking, Ganesh clears the way. All mortals pray to Ganesh when starting a new endeavor, that their path will be open and he may grant them success. Only with reluctance has Ganesh joined the battle of the gods. Violence is the last obstacle the elephant god would ever place. But these are not mortals that threaten existence. It is time that Ganesh determined who should succeed and who should fail.
It's like a plate of brains I got.
Ganesh's passive is good fortune. Anytime Ganesh deals a killing blow, the nearest friendly god receives credit for the kill, and Ganesh receives the rewards for an assist instead. In addition, his assist range is increased by 20 units, and the time before he loses his assist credit is increased by 5 seconds.
Selfless player.
Ganesh's first ability is Turn of Fate. Ganesh curses his enemies with his considerable willpower, damaging them. For each enemy he hits, up to a maximum of 5, all allied gods within 55 units of Ganesh gain bonus damage. Ganesh's second ability is Om.
Great support
Ganesh
character.
begins chanting and rises into the lotus position, where he is slowed slightly but may travel freely in all directions. While chanting, he silences enemy gods in a cone in front of him and increases physical protection for all nearby allied gods. Ganesh's third ability is Remove Obstacles. Ganesh charges forward, hooking an enemy with his goad, holding them in place, and damaging the enemy before throwing them up. While dashing, Ganesh passes through player-made walls. Ganesh's ultimate is Dharmic Pillars. Ganesh summons the 4 great pillars of righteousness to imprison his enemies. Between each pair of pillars, a magical field is created, and enemies who pass through the field take damage, are slowed, and have their protections reduced for 3 seconds. Gods and
Does that mean it's
goddesses,
get there the whole time?
welcome to the Smite God reveal for Shiva, the Destroyer.
Just the name, Shiva the Destroyer. That's enough to be on my team.
Worlds end when the Destroyer dances, but so too do worlds begin as Destroyer becomes benefactor. It is the eternal cycle of destruction and creation, a cosmic song heard by all, but the steps of its dance are known only to one. The Lord of Dancers, Shiva.
Ooh.
He is the embodiment of grace and compassion, but also the roaring storm which sweeps away all that stands before it. He comes in forms both fearsome and benign, destroyer and creator in
awesome.
one.
Yeah.
To Shiva falls the responsibility of ensuring the sanctity of all that is. This duty requires both ferocity and mercy. For it is Shiva who must stand against the all-consuming dark and conjure light from its depths with his dance. By his dance will the mistakes of the past be undone, and a new beginning allowed to commence.
I like this video a lot.
Yeah.
Shiva's passive is Samsara. Shiva cycles between the states of bliss and destruction by dealing damage to enemy gods with attacks and abilities. Each state provides benefits to himself and allies, or hindrances to enemies. Shiva's first ability is Emblazoned Sweep. Shiva's trident is emblazoned with the fire of Agni as he spins it around, dealing damage, pulling in enemies and leaving behind a firewall. If in the bliss state, allies gain movement speed for passing through the firewall. In destruction, enemies suffer a protection reduction debuff instead. Shiva's second ability is Damaru's Tempo. Shiva slams his trident, shaking the Damaru drum and causing energy to dissipate and damage enemies. Depending on the selection, enemies in the chosen segment are knocked up as well. If in the bliss state, allies gain an attack speed buff if the energy passes through them. In destruction, enemies suffer an attack speed debuff instead. Shiva's third ability is Pillar of Dawn. Shiva dashes into a pillar of fire where he meditates for a short duration, taking reduced damage before being able to dash out again.
Badass.
As he meditates, the pillar emits an aura. If in the bliss state, allies in the aura gain a block stack while Shiva gains up to 3 after leaving. In destruction, enemies in the aura suffer constant damage instead. Shiva's ultimate ability is Shiva Tandava. Shiva performs his Tandava, becoming crowd control immune while he channels his dance for the next 6 seconds. Every 1.5 seconds, he performs a dance step that can also be pre-selected. The first step provides allies healing and mana restore. The second step provides light healing and damage, but also an amplification on the next step's radius and effects. The third step deals damage and shield reduction to enemies.
Wow. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Smite God reveal.
Yeah.
Goddess of destruction.
Yeah. It's me.
In Smite,
Shiva.
Kali shreds her enemies apart as an assassin.
Hell yeah.
To speak of Kali is to speak of the beginning of time itself. Across the majestic lands of Hindustan rose an army of demons that conquered the countryside and slaughtered the people. Yet, when the gods themselves were defeated, Devi, the supreme goddess, emerged to throw back this host and protect the faithful. 3 forms she took during these ancient times. The first, Durga, the mother of creation, was as radiant as she was fearsome. Astride her tiger, she scattered the demon horde until she encountered the horrendous
She rides a tiger, she's definitely your team.
For each wound she gave the demon, his cursed blood created a copy, quickly resulting in an unstoppable army of Raktabija clones.
Damn.
Rage boiled at the corners of Durga's mind. In the quest to slaughter and destroy evil, from the forehead of Durga sprung her wrathful form, with skin darkened and eyes glowing a menacing red. Thus was Kali, the Black One, goddess of time and destruction, the second form of Devi, born. Rarely has Kali been seen since, kept in the shadows of Devi's mind. But when the tides of battle shift and evil looms large, there is no solution but unrestrained destruction of evil, and Kali once again walks the earth.
All right.
Alright, I'm gonna use my steel.
No, you're not. There's no way.
Kali's
Had
passive
to
is
try.
called Marked for Death. A random
She is so cool.
enemy god
Yeah.
is selected as Kali's
I think I
death
almost
mark.
used
Kali gains a physical penetration
Mine
on-
bonus
yours on
against
Shiva?
the god, and
I mean,
if she
on,
lands
yeah,
the
Shiva.
killing blow,
So glad I
heals
stuck
for
to it.
I thought you were for sure going to.
personal
I was
health.
so close.
Her first ability is called Nimble Strike. Kali leaps forward, damaging a single enemy in the target area and healing herself for a % of their missing health.
All right.
Her second ability is called Lash. Kali throws several blades, doing damage and causing a bleed. Kali gains physical life steal against targets affected by the bleed.
That how she dragged out the lash.
Kali's third ability is called Incense. Kali hurls her incense at her feet, exploding it. Enemies hit are stunned, while Kali gains a physical power bonus. Kali's ultimate is called Destruction. Kali becomes an unstoppable force of destruction, creating a damage aura around her. During this time, she can be reduced to 1 health, but cannot die.
But cannot die. Okay.
Welcome to the Smite God reveal for Agni, God of Fire.
Ooh, okay.
In Smite, Agni sets ablaze all who oppose him as a mage.
Okay. Mages
Mage is
are
nice.
cool.
There are few elements as destructive or as purifying as fire. Agni, God of Fire, is the embodiment of both of these qualities, with a head for each. Though the source of his origin warrants debate, for there are many tales of his parentage ranging from 2 simple sticks rubbed together to the cosmic energy that made all things at the beginning of time, Agni is a pivotal and important god with many duties to the pantheon. He is the twin brother to Indra, god of the heavens and rains, and chief among warriors. Conversely, Agni is chief among priests, acting as messenger between mortals and gods. Every Hindu ritual and prayer is performed in front of a fire of some kind, so Agni carries the words and sacrifices, traveling between the earth and the heavens. He is welcome in every home and every hearth, and much beloved by the faithful. Through his flames, Agni provides heat and light, but also cleanses impurities. Smoke from his pyres create the air and hold the heavens aloft. The sun, a source of fire itself, brings life-giving energy to the world, and his lightning streaks the sky during storms. For all his kindness and service, Agni has 2 faces. One is the face of kindness and purity, turned towards the people and gods. His other face, grim and resolute, guides the god of fire to play his role in the cosmic cycle of creation and destruction, to burn and blacken all the atrocities of the world to ash.
Oh, that last line sold me. That was a good description of the 2.
That
His
was.
passive is called Combustion.
parts.
After hitting with 4 basic attacks, Agni will gain a buff. On the next case of Flame Wave or Rain Fire, all enemies hit by those abilities will be set ablaze, taking additional damage. His first ability is called Noxious Fumes. Agni summons a cloud of noxious fumes at his ground target location, doing damage. Firing any of Agni's abilities into the fumes detonates the gas, stunning all the enemies in the radius. His second ability is called Flame Wave. Agni summons a wave of fire in front of him that scorches all enemies in its path. This ability also ignites noxious fumes. Agni's third ability is called Path of Flames. Agni blazes a path forward in a quick dash, leaving flames trailing behind him. Any enemies passing through the flames catch fire and burn for damage. This ability also ignites noxious fumes. Agni's ultimate is called Rain Fire. Periodically, Agni gains a flaming halo that can be expended to summon a giant meteor at his ground target location. Agni can have a maximum of 3 halos. This ability also ignites noxious fumes.
Awesome.
All right then.
Welcome to the Smite God reveal for Bakasura,
What the
the
hell?
Great Devourer.
Braka.
Wow.
A horrendous demon with a bottomless appetite for human flesh, Bakasura is a nightmare come to life. Yet, it is his defeat at the hands of a man that is worth the telling. According to the Hindu epic, the Mahabharata, the famous Pandav brothers were traveling in exile with their mother, Kunti, when they came to the village Ekachakra. Disguised as Brahmins, they sought alms from the villagers in order to sustain themselves. They soon learned that a demon, Bakasura, was living outside the village, devouring the people as they passed through the woods. The chief went to the demon and begged that the feasting stop. In return, a cart of food would be sent to Bakasura each day. Bakasura consumed not only the provisions, but the person that brought the cart as well. After hearing this tale from a weeping woman whose son would bear the cart on the morrow, Kunti declared that her son, Bhim, who possessed impossible strength and had slain demons before, would take the cart instead. Once in the forest, Bhim nonchalantly ate the food. Furious, Bakasura threatened to eat Bhim, which he just laughed off, goading the demon to attack him.
Damn.
All day they battled until Bhim finally slew the demon, tied him to the cart, and dragged the body back to the village, where the people celebrated the victory in bewilderment. Hunger, however, is a demon that cannot be defeated, and inevitably, Bakasura's disgusting rumble will rise again, now more ravenous than ever, and ready to feed. Bakasura's passive is called Insatiable Hunger. Bakasura's attack and movement speed is temporarily increased for each enemy that he kills.
Licking the blades. All right,
Yep.
that's cool.
His first ability is
down with
called
that.
Takedown.
Baraka,
Bakasura
or
leaps to his
Bakasura.
ground target location, doing damage to all enemies and reducing their physical protection. His second ability is called Eat Minion. Bakasura grabs a minion and devours it, healing himself and gaining protections buff. Bakasura's third ability is called Butcher Blades. Bakasura passively gains physical power. When activated, he gains additional true damage on each strike for a duration.
He's attacking Groot.
Don't attack Groot.
Bakasura's ultimate is called Regurgitate. Bakasura exposes his head, regurgitating all of the minions consumed. Bakasura's basic attacks
wow.
become cone attacks for a short duration.
Cool.
That's cool.
Yep.
Welcome to the
Dude.
Smite God
Yeah.
reveal for
It's like the ghost of Christmas
Kukulkan,
past.
the
Yeah.
sleeping giant.
Aw.
In Smite, Kukulkan snoozes his way to victory as a
Drunk?
guardian. Do you hear it? That distant rumble like thunder across the mountains, like pitched battle from miles away, like a stampede of elephants across the plains? No, it is none of these things. That rumble you hear is the bellowing snore of Kukulkan, the sleeping giant. Quick with a laugh, honest with friends, but devastating in battle, Kukulkan embodies the traits of a hero, but loyalty to his tyrant brother, Ravana, often leads him to the wrong side. So jovial and pious is he, that when granted a boon by Brahma, Kukulkan wished to take Indra's place and rule the heavens. Indra was jealously threatened, convinced Brahma would let the good-natured giant usurp him, and magically twisted Kukulkan's tongue at the last second. Instead of asking for Indra Asana, Indra's seat, he asked for Nidra Asana, to sleep. Now, that rumbling you hear, it is not his snores, but Kukulkan's mighty roar. Or was that a yawn?
He's so sleepy.
Kukulkan's passive is called Sleepy. Kukulkan does not die when he reaches 0 health. Instead, he falls asleep. He will awaken after several seconds at
Sweet.
25% health and mana, unless hit by a set amount of basic attacks.
Okay.
His first ability is called Throwback.
handy.
Kukulkan sleepily runs forward. If he hits an enemy, he stops and deals damage. If the enemy is a minion, he throws them, dealing more damage. His second ability is called Groggy Strike. Kukulkan smashes down, damaging all enemies in front of him. All enemies hit are also rooted.
His third ability is called Mighty Yawn. Kumbhakarna lets out a mighty yawn that mesmerizes all enemies in the range. If awakened early, enemies are slowed. Kumbhakarna
know
may
what?
use this ability
I like sleep.
while asleep. Kumbhakarna's ultimate is called Epic Uppercut. Kumbhakarna moves forward, delivering a massive melee swing that knocks the enemy directly in front of him into the air. When the enemy
Sweet.
lands, it deals area damage and causes knock-up to enemies nearby.
Alright.
Welcome to the Smite God reveal for Ram, the 7th avatar of Vishnu. Ravana's immortal reign subjugates the people. Shiva's boon grants the Demon King invulnerability against gods and beasts. Only mortal men stand a chance of defeating him, but Ravana's might is too potent for a mere man to overcome. All seems lost. To save us, Vishnu took human form, Ram, Prince of Ayodhya. At age 16, he was already the perfect embodiment of man. Strong, humble, handsome, patient, devout. He is what mankind strives to be, yet for all our flaws, can never reach. When a neighboring kingdom cursed by Ravana's magic asked for aid, Ram answered, despite the misgivings of his father. With his brother Laksharma, Ram set out and slew a horde of demons. At the palace, Ram cleansed the curse by freeing the queen from stone. The city celebrated, and Ram was invited to string Shiva's bow. With the prize, Princess Sita's hand in marriage. Shiva's bow could not be lifted by any man, let alone strung, but Ram broke the bow in half. He and Sita wed immediately. Returning home, Ram was to be crowned prince, but the jealousy of Queen Kaikeyi forced Ram into exile, where he's remained these past 14 years. Yet Ram was recently seen on the field of battle. Word is Ravana stole Ram's wife, and Ram left exile to embrace his destiny. He must defeat Ravana, free his wife, and set mankind on a path for peace, else darkness and evil will conquer all.
Go.
Alright, buddy.
Ram's passive is called Astral Quiver. Ram's Astral Quiver generates an astral arrow. Also, every basic attack that lands will reduce the amount of time to generate an arrow. Astral arrows are used with other abilities. His first ability is called Astral Strike. Ram switches to a more powerful arrow that pierces and slows enemies. The ability consumes one of Ram's astral arrows with every shot. Ram cannot toggle this ability if he has no astral arrows. His second ability is called Pick Me Up. In its active stance, Ram gains increased attack speed. Passively, anytime an enemy is hit by an astral arrow, there is a chance that an astral arrow pickup will appear on the ground. Ram's third ability is called Rolling Assault. Ram performs a roll in the direction he is currently traveling. After performing a dodge roll, for a short time, Ram's next in-hand attack cripples the target. Ram's ultimate is called Astral Barrage. Ram launches into the air and shoots 3 powerful arrows at the ground, each successful shot increasing in damage and decreasing in AoE size.
Okay.
Yeah. Wasn't as impressed with his abilities. I liked his lore better than I liked his
Welcome
abilities.
to the Smite God reveal for Ravan, the Demon King of Lanka.
Yeah.
The greater the sacrifice, the more immeasurable the power. Ravan, the Demon King of Lanka, knew this. For years he worshipped, showing his devotion through solation, prayer, and penance before the shrine of Shiva. In pursuit of his immortality, he sacrificed his very life. He cut off his own head. Shiva the Destroyer did not want him, though. 9 more times his head was offered, and on his 10th sacrifice, finally, Shiva was sated. For the Demon King, Shiva granted a boon. Instead of immortality, he gained invulnerability against those he viewed as threats. Gods and demons. A master of combat, a genius scholar, a peerless leader and now invincible. Ravan amassed an army of fiends and monsters to conquer the world. The Monkey King tried to stop him, but Ravan fought off his attacks. The Demon King's armies conquered all, leaving Ravan to rule from a golden throne. Thus was Vishnu reborn Ram, a mere man. Now trained as a warrior, Ram calls the Demon King to battle, and their rivalry will shake the world.
I mean, they're rivals, so I'll take your rival.
Ravan's passive is called Chain of Blows. Each successful hit, within 5 seconds, adds to Ravan's combo chain and increases the damage of Prana Onslaught up to 60%. Ravan's first ability is called Prana Onslaught. Ravan throws a powerful punch that damages and slows all enemies in front of him. Ravan's second ability is called Overhead Kick. Ravan performs a high kick, sending a shockwave forward to all enemies in a line. Ravan is unable to do damage during this action. Ravan's third ability is called 10-Hand Shadow Fist. Ravan's fists fly forward, healing him for each enemy hit, as well as damaging and rooting the first enemy god.
That's good. Dealing damage while also healing.
Is called Mystic Rush. Ravan dashes to his target, knocking aside all enemies in his path and dealing damage to his target. The target is then linked to Ravan for a short duration of time and will be the only enemy god who can deal full damage to Ravan.
Alright, so you know how there are multiple flavors of Vishnu? Well, that's where Vamana comes in, the fifth avatar of Vishnu. You see, there was this demon king called Bali who conquered the underworld, and all of Earth, and the heavens. But the god Indra took issue with that last one, and since he was unable to reclaim it himself, he asked Vishnu for help. And seeing as a god wasn't powerful enough, Vishnu thought, you know what? Let's give mortal hideous man baby a go. So off he went to Bali's place, where the demon king was handing out more gifts than a RuneScape drop party. Vamana approached and made his request, as much land as he could cover in 3 steps. Bali granted the request, and Vamana yelled, "Got him!" and then grew to cosmic proportions. In 1 step, Vamana engulfed all of Earth and the underworld. With his second step, he consumed the heavens, and since there was nowhere left, Bali offered his head as the 3rd step. Vamana sent Bali to the underworld, but he granted him sovereignty over it, because hey, just because Bali is bad guy does not mean he is bad guy. So in the end, the righteous and fair demon king who was giving out free gifts was defeated by a deceitful, overgrown man baby. Life works in mysterious ways.
Okay, so I will take Vamana.
All right, so yeah, we had to do that last one for Smite for Nevercakes because we couldn't find one for Vamana for a God Reveal trailer. So we did that way. Those are the teams. If you want our full teams, go ahead, check out the description of this video. We got all of our full team that we've drafted so far, as like, not only the ones that we just drafted, today, but all the time.
So who's your favorite of the ones you acquired today?
The ones I acquired today, I think my favorite is Shiva. Yeah, that's my favorite for sure.
Kali for me.
Yeah, Kali's pretty badass.
Awesome.
Yeah, she's very cool. That was the one, obviously, like I tried to use my steel card for that, and then, yeah, it didn't work. Any of mine, so probably Shiva was probably the one on my team that you'd want.
Yeah, that's the one I would have gone for.
Yeah. I think I think ours, we pretty much picked up what we normally do. I mean, I wasn't in love with the sleepy guy, but he was endearing to me. Is why he wasn't necessarily like a badass, but I'm like yeah, he's pretty endearing. The fact that he's like so sleepy and he's like still battling, and like all of his abilities had to do with sleep and yawning and stuff like that. I thought that was pretty good.
Plus, he's like a jovial, nice guy, but he gets led astray by Ravana, so like
yeah,
he gets corrupted by evil influence, so that can appeal to like your darker side.
True, that is true. As far as the lore goes, what do you think of the Hindu like gods as far as the lore goes?
I really enjoyed it. I want to explore this more.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting as well. I think my fire god guy.
Agni, right?
Yeah, Agni. I thought that his lore was kind of I like the duality of him, and like at first they talked up so much of his benevolence, and at the end it's like no, but he's not all about benevolence as well. He's also about getting out that judgment.
Yeah, the light and the shadow side is physically manifested in multiple heads for this one.
Yeah. You'll let us know what you thought about this down below in the comments. And if you want our full Smite reactions, go ahead and check out the description of this video. We got a playlist there for you.
Yes, we do.
Thanks so much for checking out our reaction for the Smite God reveals for the Hindu gods, but just keep in mind
that our reaction is definitely not definitive.